everyone. My name is Nur Husnina Huda and my metric number is A193958. And today we would like to share our discussions about our topic, which is political influence policy instability, where frequent changes in leadership leads to shifts in education policies and hindering long-term planning. So my POV or my point of view is basically from society perspective. And as we all know, we do believe that education is a vital pillar of society, where it shapes the future by equipping individuals with the knowledge and skills that needed to be thrive. However, in many countries, for example, Malaysia itself, education systems are heavily influenced by political leadership, where it leads to frequent policy shift whenever there is a change in government. In a short period of time, Malaysia itself changed a lot of prime minister. So this instability disrupts long-term planning, creating confusion and inefficiency for educators, students, and also communities. From a social perspective, these constant changes erode trust in the education system, as family and stakeholders really struggle to adapt the new curricula, grading systems, or funding priorities. For example, a sudden shift in language policies or examination formats can disproportionately affect marginalized groups, exacerbating existing inequalities. To address this or to fix this action, we must prioritize education depoliticizing by establishing bipartisan or independent education boards that focus on long term, where inclusive frameworks happen. By engaging communities, educators, and policymakers in collaborative decision making, we can create a stable, equitable education system that serves society needs rather than short-term political agendas. Ultimately, a consistent and inclusive approach to education policy will foster not just trust, reduce disparities, and ensure that every individual has the opportunity to succeed, regardless of political changes or who are the person in charge for the community. That's all from me. Maybe we can hear from Hannah about parents' perspective.
Okay, thank you, Nina, for your opinion on social perspective. So good day, everyone. My name is Nurul Fateh Farhana binti Abdul Rahman, and my metric number is A194300. So I will speak from the parents' perspective in this social influence result in instability of education system. So education is meant to be guides the children to its success, right? But what happens, okay? What happened when the path keeps changing? What happened when just as the children adapt to one system, it is replaced by another? For parents, they have seen this happen times to time again. New leadership, new policies, new disruption, and in the end, it's the children who suffer. Imagine preparing our child for an important exam, only to find out that the testing format has changed. Imagine spending money on new textbook and only to be told that this curriculum has been revised again. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a constant battle against uncertainty. Parents are left confused, children are left unprepared, and education become a game of trial and error instead of a structured path of success. So the biggest frustration is for parents. They're the ones who are most affected, and they also the one that are rarely consulted. So policies are introduced without proper communication, without considering the financial burden, the emotional stress, or the academic gaps that they create for the children. How can we expect children to succeed when the very own foundation of this education keep shifting. So as parent, we cannot just stay silent. We cannot do that. We must take an active role in shaping education by securing a seat at the table through parent teacher association or community forum and also advisory panels. We must demand clear communication, gradual change, and policy that prioritize student over politics. By uniting, we can push for a stable, transparent, and student-focused education system. So lastly, as for the parents, you have the power to demand better. You must raise your voice, advocate for transparency, and push for policies that prioritize your children's future. Because education should not be a political experiment. It should be a promise of stability and a success for your own children. So let's work together to make the promise a reality, shall we? That is all for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Fatim Farhana, for your perspective. So, my name is Wanu Shafika Bintuan Azmi from the metric of A914722. So, today I'm going to share my perspective on behalf of the educators, in which frequent changes in curriculum and teaching methods overwhelm teachers, leaving little time for mastery or innovation. So, basically, Malaysia's education system has experienced frequent curriculum changes influenced by government shifts that prioritize short-term political agendas over consistent and evidence-based educational reforms. Between 2018 and 2022, Malaysia had three different prime ministers, each with three different education ministers, that resulted in educational policy discontinuity. To make it worse, the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted the standardized exams like UPSR and PT3, which then led to the full implementation of school-based assessments, or we call it as PBD. However, this shift was rushed without adequate preparation, leaving teachers without sufficient training or clear assessments guidelines. The main complication that arises is many teachers lack adequate training on PBD implementation that forces them to self-learn and adapt without proper support. Many existing professional development programs are inconsistent with lack of standardized framework and are outdated by still implementing traditional exam-based teaching methods rather than equipping these teachers with skills for student-centered learning under the new PBD system. Therefore, due to the lack of this standardization, teachers cannot fully master the PPD curriculum, leaving them with little time for mastery. Therefore, to mitigate this problem, strengthening teacher training and support are compulsory to prepare educators by establishing continuous professional development, or we call it as CPD programs, focused on PPD techniques. The state education departments are the responsible authority to ensure this training is implemented effectively at each state level. Training should be modular and progressive that covers three aspects, which are the first one is PBD assessment techniques, student-centered learning methods, and lastly is the technological integration to handle the diverse needs of the students under the PBD. This program should be mandatory for all teachers with an advisable amount of 40 hours training per year. As a result, a more stable and high quality education system can be achieved when teachers are supported with continuous professional development that prepares them for better educational delivery and enhanced learning experience for students. That's all from my part. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Wan, for sharing your opinion. Okay, greetings to everyone. My name is Nur Edina Farisha Muhammad Jamel, number matrix A193429. Today, I want to discuss regarding the issue from employer's perspective. Imagine hiring a fresh graduate only to realize they lack the critical skills needed for the job. Now, multiply this by thousands of graduates entering the workforce each year. This is the reality Malaysian employers face due to the instability in our education system. Education is the backbone of any nation's workforce. A stable and well-structured education system ensures that graduates are equipped with the skills needed for the job market. However, in Malaysia, political interference has led to frequent changes in education policies, curriculum adjustments, and inconsistent teaching methods. Employers struggle to find graduates who are truly job ready as the education system fails to maintain long-term strategies that align with industry needs. This instability doesn't just mean outdated curriculum. It leads to a workforce that is disconnected from industry needs. Every time a new administration takes over, new policies are introduced, sometimes reversing previous reforms. This results in graduates who are trained in theoretical knowledge but lack hands-on experience. Employees are left struggling to close the gap, affecting productivity and innovation. If we continue down this path, Malaysia risks falling behind in global competitiveness. To bridge this gap, we must strengthen industry education collaboration. Employers must work closely with educational institutions to ensure that curricula align with real-world demands. Imagine a system where companies provide internship programs, industry experts help design courses, and students graduate with both knowledge and practical experience. Countries like Germany have successfully adopted this model, producing highly skilled workers through apprenticeship programs. If Malaysia follows suit, we can reduce skills mismatch, enhance job readiness, and create a future-ready workforce. Education should not be a political battlefield. It should be a pathway to success for students and a driving force for economic growth. If we want to secure Malaysia's future, we must remove political instability from education and foster strong partnership between industry and educational institutions. That's all from me. Thank you.
That was valuable insight from you, Noidina Farisha. And I think I would like to thank you all of us here in this our meeting for sharing your perspective towards this issue. It is really a good thing to address this issue for our better future. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
everyone.
You
Thank you,
guys.
everyone.